Perfect. So, Mike, I mean, how has the transition been to Orlando, being a Knight? Just talk about the entire experience so far.
The transition, it's been a good transition. I'm happy to be on the court again, for the most part. And then I say from the part off the court, it's been pretty good. It rains a lot here, but the weather's like San Diego though, so that's lovable for sure.
And
Pretty
you,
hot too.
yeah, you mentioned getting back on the court. I mean, through all the adversity you've been through everything that's happened, I mean, what does it mean to you personally to finally get back on the basketball court at a high level like the Big 12 Conference?
Man, it means the world, man. And without God, none of this would be possible. And that's 100 first and foremost. I thank Him every day. I get goosebumps thinking about it. Just my family and my coaches, teammates. Whenever we talk about playing and just being back on the court, it's just I get goosebumps. I might hold back tears sometimes 'cause I know how much this means to me. Like, it's been my dream. So it means the world, man.
And you mentioned God. You got baptized recently during the summer. Let's just talk about that experience and that path.
It was the best thing I've ever done, bro. Because you gotta understand that Jesus is the way of life. Like he's the reason that he can wash your sins away. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's very deep, and I feel like you'll have to go on your own journey. With Christ, and I felt like it was just the right moment for me. Like before that happened, someone had mentioned to me if I wanted to get baptized, and I was really like, I don't know if the time is right because they always say you'll know when the time is right. But I felt it, man, most definitely, especially with me about to open up a new page in my book and in life. I feel like that was the best thing for me. It's cleared my head so much.
And speaking with Coach Dawkins before, you said this isn't last chance. This is second chance university, and he is proud to be able to bring in guys from all different backgrounds. I mean, what does he mean to you as a head coach?
As a head coach, is he mean I mean he means a lot, man, and it's just I'm blessed to be able to be here and take direction from him and pick his mind and see the way he operates and how he approaches this because he's way older than us and he has a lot more wisdom. So I feel like it's so beneficial for me to just soak everything up because a lot of the stuff that he tells us and he teaches us I know I'm gonna need down the road.
Yeah. And one of the main things this offseason is that you guys were projected in the lower half of the preseason projections. Does that put a chip on your guys' shoulder to come out and show even harder for this season?
um I think I say what puts a chip on our shoulder is just knowing that we all have one goal. No matter what anybody says about us, and no matter how anybody thinks, I think it's deep within, and you just have to want to be the best you for yourself and for the people around, which is the team. So I feel like as long as we keep each other going, I feel like can't nobody else really affect us.
And what do you think this UCF roster is capable of?
Like I mentioned, I don't think we have a ceiling if we're all bought in and we all do what we're supposed to do. I really don't see a ceiling for us.
I mean, 11 new players on the team, including yourself. How's the chemistry been? A lot of offseason activities. Just speak about some of that.
Uh, it's definitely been great. Like I think we're gelling together. We all like each other. We all laugh and smile with each other and crack jokes. And think that I think off the court it contributes to on the court because it makes us want to go harder for each other. It makes us want to pick each other up more. You know what I'm saying? And you can just tell that the chemistry is coming together.
You talk about chemistry and building in the team. How do you see what do you see your role being on this team? Where do you see yourself performing the best?
Um, on the defensive side, I think I'm a big energy guy. I think I'm gonna bring a lot of energy, a lot of defensive stops. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know what I'm capable of offensively. I'm not worried about the offense. It's gonna flow, but I think defensively, taking pride in defense is gonna be the biggest thing for me.
And what would you say, getting on more of a personal note, growing up, being well known throughout middle school, well known throughout high school, and the adversity you've been through, and now you're finally back to that stage. What are some lessons that you've learned over that time and growing as a person?
Um, I've learned a lot, man. I've learned just the way to approach certain things. I've learned to play the game. I learned that everything's not gonna go your way. But I've learned to also keep God first and foremost, and just put my trust in Him because I know I'm not gonna get everything or understand everything, but it's all God's timing. So I think patience is another big thing I've learned too.
And speaking about the profile of yourself, I mean, we had UCF had a bunch of celebrities come to games last year, Antonio Brown, and a bunch of other guys. Do you expect to bring some of that same energy to the crowd? Some people show out to the games and build a bigger program for UCF?
Yeah, for sure. I don't necessarily look at myself as a celebrity or anything, but I think the atmosphere here is definitely gonna go crazy.
And speak about JJ Taylor joining you in this process, going to UCF. Spoke with him before about it. He said, you know what it is. You know what you guys can do. What do you guys
Yeah.
expect to do on the court together?
Just put on a show, man. You know, bring energy. You know, showcase our talent and win. You know, I think once we get in that, once we step on the court, I think you guys are gonna see what we're capable of.
And what would you say is, do you have like an NBA player that you look to inspire, so like as an inspiration to some models of your game? Anybody you look for to crafting some of your game towards in the NBA?
Yes, actually, when I was younger, I used to watch LeBron a lot. So I think that seeing the way he passes the ball, I like that. But I also did know eventually that I wasn't going to be 6'8". So I had to start looking at like Damian Lillard and Chris Paul, just their pace and stuff. I have natural like abilities, scoring abilities. You know, I could get to spaces and stuff, but just from like a pace level and just reading screens and just point guard level, I say I looked at a lot of Damian Lillard, Derrick Rose. You know,
And what made you fall in love with the game of basketball? What keeps inspiring you to play it and eventually reaching this big stage like the Big 12?
When I was younger, when I was a little kid, my pops used to coach, and I used to be in the gym pushing a little ball around. I was probably like 2 years old, so my older brothers played. You know, my mama always had the ball in my hand, so it was kind of just there from the beginning. And what's actually funny is when I started playing football, I was probably like 4 or 5. I played basketball and football, so I actually loved football more for the most part. And I think when I was about 13, it just came a decision where I was like, all right, I got to focus on one because basketball just started to take off. So I was like, I think this is the route I want to go. And after that, it's just like it's so many blessings that's came to my life, so many people through this, like so many opportunities, and it's just like stuff like this you can't take for granted. And now at this point in my life, I know I'm gonna be the one to change my family's life. So and my life. So I know that I just got to go hard every day, even when I don't might not feel like when my body's hurting and I might want to rest a little bit. I can't do it. I gotta go because I know it's on the other side.
And when did you know it was UCF? When did you know the decision was to come here?
Um, I say shortly after shortly after they started recruiting me. I just did my research on Coach Dawkins, and I was talking to my family and stuff, and just from the basketball perspective, I just knew that Johnny would bring the best out of me, and I knew that he wants the best for me. So I feel like shortly after they started recruiting me, it just all clicked.
And lastly, one last question. What's your go-to song before a game?
Go to a song.
Yeah, go-to song.
Oh, I ain't played it so long. It's so much new music. I might say I might say one of my songs. I make music. I might say one of my songs,
One of
but
your songs? All
yeah,
right.
if not, I'll say
Go check out his music.
hey, it's gonna drop soon. It's gonna drop soon. I'll say I'll probably throw on some No Cap or some Rilo or
All right.
some Young Boy
That's enough.
for
That's
sure.
enough.